Hi, Tony here, welcome back to the Man Cave, where this week I'm going to be taking a look at an R&G Radiator Guard. Now, for those of you that follow my social media channels, you would have probably noticed that there is a new horse in the stable, and I have succumbed and purchased myself an adventure bike. But following on from what else I've done on the channel with my Street Twin and the T100 is, as soon as I get a new bike, I'll start looking at accessories to put on it. And there's one area that stands out for me on this bike that needs something straight away, and I'm still not entirely sure why it doesn't come from the factory. And that is this. The radiator, I think, is quite exposed. The fins on the radiator are quite fragile, and already just in the trip from picking the bike up from the Deleys and riding home, even on road, I had a small stone nick in the radiator. So when I got the bike home and I had a look around it, the first thing I thought it needed was a radiator guard, just to offer that some kind of protection. I had a look online, looked at what options were available there, and I plumped for the R&G Rad Guard. Now, there are several reasons I picked this particular radiator guard. First one is the brand. R&G have got a great reputation for making high quality parts that fit well. The second was the look of it. Some of them are quite garish. Some of them want to make a real statement. There's big shiny silver ones with patterns embossed on them, and I just wanted something functional and protective to put over the top of it. And the other thing was cost. This particular Rad Guard is just a pretty straightforward black mesh guard. It is available in orange for you KTM fanatics that want to get a bit more orange on your bike. For me, the discreet black one was good enough, and it came at a good price. I ordered this online for around about £56. It is a straightforward job, but I will take you through that very quickly. There is a little bit of prep work to do. In the box, you get some self-adhesive foam pads. You need to cut this into 10mm strips, and just to fix that onto the back. Okay, so there you go. There is the foam just cut and stuck around the edge here, just to offer that protection. What you need to do next is take the bolt and the washer, push that onto the outside, and then there is a spacer, a black machined spacer, which needs to go onto the back here, and that spacer will fit into the mounting hole where the original bolt would go. So do that on both sides. So the first job on the bike is to undo these two mounting bolts here, and this is a Torx T30. Now you can see from these bolts they have a shoulder which sits in the frame, and the spacers that come in the kit have exactly the same part on there, so it's fairly obvious which way in they go. And then when it comes to fitting, it's just a simple case of getting these two tabs to fit up in the slots that are underneath, and then sitting this on the frame and lining these holes up. And there you go, that's as difficult as it gets. It's then a case of putting this spacer behind the tab, putting the new bolt through. This is actually a 3mm Allen key, but just do that up. Now the kit does come with cable ties, and it instructs you to just loop that around the little hole at the top. But to be honest, that Rad Guard's not going to go anywhere. The fact that the tabs sit up behind the plastic is going to stop the top from moving forward. It's not going to rattle around, and actually when you come to washing the bike, at some point you're going to want to get the mud and flies and rubbish out of this. And it's going to be much easier just to be able to undo those two bolts and drop it out than have to worry about cutting and reapplying zip ties. So I'm going to leave those behind. But one thing you do get in the box is a couple of R&G stickers. It makes a marked difference and improvement to the look of the bike. It's a really nicely finished piece. You've got that extra protection. I'm not going to worry too much about those very fragile fins getting damaged. And yeah, for the money, it goes straight on, easy to fit, really nice piece. So there you have it, great bit of kit from a British manufacturer, well constructed, nicely finished, fits well, good instructions, does exactly what it needs to do, and it looks good on the bike at the same time. I think for the price you're going to pay around the £50 to £60 mark for this. I think for that money this is a really good purchase. So I hope you found that useful. There'll be more stuff coming through on the KTM as I add bits and potentially take bits away from it. So if you've got any suggestions, stick them in the comments down there of stuff that you'd like to see or stuff for me to review, and I'll try my best to get to that. And for those guys that follow me for the Street Twin and T100 stuff that's been going, don't worry, that's going to continue. This is just an addition and a bit of an expansion of what I'm doing on the channel. I'm hoping that there's going to be some stuff coming up with the Bonneville bobber as well. I've got one of those on a longer term test. I'll bring you a video on that. So as usual, there'll be links up in the top corner to take you to the R&G website where you can have a look at this Radiator Guard and some of their other stuff. I'll put some links in the end credits as well. There'll be a subscribe button down here. There's another option in the end credits. I'd love you to hit that subscribe button if you like what I'm doing. And as ever, all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Yeah.